Okay, reading recommendations. It's gonna be a pretty short video because it's not a whole lot of books. It's like this is all of them, and one of them's a bigger book. And the bigger book, I did not. Spoilers, I did not finish. It wasn't that great. None of these, I would say, were all that great. Actually, there was only one that was good, that I would consider good. The first one was it kind of ranged from okay to mediocre to kind of bad. First one was okay. It's Deadpool versus Spider-Man one. I found it in my library, so if you're interested in it, I would say pick it up. The one thing I really hate about this book is that it's set when like say this I want to say this came out like 2015, 2016. So it's like set in like the modern Marvel universe, like the Earth 616. So everything that was going on in Spider-Man and Deadpool, I guess, but mainly Spider-Man, but everything that was happening in there is shown. It's just like it's there. So Spider-Man has he's kind of the Dan Slott run Spider-Man, like the 2014 series, which I actually like, but I just don't like the love interest because they were like, screw Mary Jane, we're not gonna have them have a marriage anymore. That was in 2007, almost 13 over 13 years, like 14 years later now. They still have not really. I don't think they talk about doing it, but they haven't like I don't think I've fully given Spider-Man back his marriage. But yeah, this is still when they were like, nope, screw Mary Jane. I don't even want them to date. Let's give them just these crappy love interests that are super boring. The only interesting thing about this Anna Maria person is that she's a midget, and she's a midget, and it's like I can get a good picture. And it looks kind of funny because you think of like how that not the greatest one, but yeah, it's just like weird. But the only reason why Anna Maria is there is because Doc Ock, when he was Spider-Man, that happened way back in the day, way back in the day, way back in Dan Slott's run, Superior Spider-Man. Um, he dated Anna Maria. See that I mean that would make sense that he would end ties with Mary Jane. I don't know, but just like because I don't like that era of Spider-Man. No one does really. I'm good. Like I mean, Jesus, I'd be fine with it if it was like I don't not like one of those people that like Mary Jane or nobody. I'm fine with and if it's gonna happen, because Marvel editors even back then weren't the best. Um, I don't think it's ever been that great. Um, but like I mean, we're back in the day. But I think they always hated the characters growing up and changing and everything like that. They wanted them to stick to the status quo. So what was the point? Oh, so like even if like he was dating like I don't know. I'm sure there's better love interest they could have picked. But like it's not just the love interest I don't like. It's just like I don't know. It's just like that era of Spider-Man I'm not a huge fan of. So I was already kind of like eh. And Joe Kelly I'm not a huge fan of. I kind of hate that I got the I Killed Giants book. I thought as time went on he got better as a writer. I mean, of course, all I've read is the Deadpool series, but I'm not a huge fan of his writing either. The and I'll be saying this for a lot of these books, but the issues felt super long. Yeah. I like the first one. It was the reason why I got this trade. Well, solicited trade rather. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I mean, again, there's the whole. Um, I'm not saying you shouldn't get these books. I mean, some of them I have said you shouldn't get, but of course, form your own opinions and everything. That's the main takeaway, from everything I do. But yeah, this one should be at your local library if it's still open. This one was the best one. Batman and Robin, Volume 3. They finally had that book. They're long last. I never looked it up. What library was it that had it? Rochester. The same as this one? The one with the. No, Guilford. Yeah, this one I really enjoyed. It's the last one of it. And it kind of like. I could see, and what was ironic is that they shared a villain at the end. At the end, I could see Batman Incorporated Grant Morrison kind of like, or Grant Morrison changing into Batman Incorporated Grant Morrison, where he was like confusing storyline before anything else, and it was like, right, like that book. There's a book that I really want, and I know that it's like $6.99 per volume, and it's like, oh, I could have gotten that instead of that book, and I just had that on the mind. So I don't know why I said that. So this one, and $6.99 for Kindle, not for, which was for hard copy. Just like, I don't understand how that happened. Like, wow, you still wanted to have this in your stock? Yeah, this one I just completely dropped. It wasn't dated per se. It was just Tom DeFalco being, "How do you do, fellow kids?" And he's a Marvel editor. He was for a very long time. And actually, speaking of editors, I was talking about before, he was one of the more esteemed ones. And why did I keep doing this? I always had that at the top. Oh, because I read. That's why. But I always used to have. I was like, I had this at the top for the past 2 days, and I like to go DC then Marvel for the soft covers. I don't know why I can't say words right. And it was just kind of lame too. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of this book. I think it's completely overrated. I wasn't in love with this character at all. I wanted to like this book because I like alternate universe type shit, and I liked the character in the Amazing Spider-Man series by Howard Mackie, like that 1999 revamp, which is the same time this shit was coming out, and that shit wasn't dated, and say dated, but that shit wasn't pandering. It also felt too kiddie, like it was weird. And of course they did this thing like with the Iron Fist, where they said you're this character, and it's like it's weird to do that. I felt like kind of weird, like I was like they were saying like you can be this character because we all are superheroes in here, and it's like shut up. I don't know. I wasn't in love with this character at all, or the series, and I wish I just gotten the there's volumes that are shorter than its complete collection, because it would have been in better condition too, most likely, because I'll be already almost done with it. And what was also funny is like I'm only on issue 4. I just finished issue 3, and of course it's technically issue 4 because they have the 0th issue. But I was like, damn, I'm on issue 4. What the hell? So I only read 4 issues. So again, issue 0. And this last one, I kept having to remind myself that this was by Alan Moore, who wrote Watchmen. This is like if Stan Lee, I mean, I know Stan Lee, as great of a writer as he was, has written some stinkers, but that's like if Stan Lee wrote Secret Empire, or what's a really bad DC book, or that. See, I say Frank Miller, but Frank Miller has gone downhill too. But it's like Frank Miller went downhill. It's like Alan Moore going downhill like Frank. It's not that bad. It's like this is the same guy. Like this is just stupid. It was just a straightforward superhero romp. It's like you're the superhero. They're gonna fight villains. It's stupid. I don't know. It's lame. And what sucks is that it's Wildstorm, and I have another Wildstorm book that I'm slogging through called Stormwatch, which the last issue I read I did enjoy, but I have to read those. I have to read those before I get into Authority, the Authority omnibus. So because those have a character that's in the Authority, and it's kind of like. Because because both the Authority in that Stormwatch series I have are both written by the same guy, Warren Ellis. The character that it's featured, I'm sure, and there's 2 characters. One's going to be featured later, maybe even more. I'm not sure who exactly is in both. But it's kind of like it builds with the characters. You see the character grow and change, and when Authority hits, it'll like oh, that's cool. This is where she is now. Awesome. But I just think it's kind of okay. Stormwatch. So yeah, all of these, the only one I really enjoyed was Batman, and even that one at the end kind of got slow and very Grant Morrison, like modern Grant Morrison, Nini. I don't know, I said it like that. This one was okay. This one gets a speed round. This one was kind of lame, and so was this one. Surprised it was only 6. I don't know why, because I always feel like, I mean, I know like last week because I couldn't get the I there was no excuse. I couldn't have, but I couldn't go to the library. Like I couldn't go to the library, right? I couldn't go last week. How was it out of? No, I think just last week. No, that's right too. Last week, I never asked my mom if I was okay to go out because I knew it was out of quarantine, but I don't know how she felt about me interacting with my grandmother, who is high risk, because I still could have it technically. But no, she's like, no, you're out of quarantine. That's not how that shit works. So last week, I just didn't know that's what happened. Because so my point in all this is that I had like 22 books for the longest time. I still do because it takes a while for them to be off my little checkout list because of quarantine and COVID and all that junk. Because the books have to be in quarantine. I think I've explained this before, but basically what I'm trying to say is, and I don't know why I feel I need to explain this, is that I feel like this was a lot shorter because I think there was more books last week. But I also think it was like because I got more books. I don't know. Oh no, that's right too. Maybe because it's Friday I got books and then Monday. I don't know. And of course, two of them I did give away because one was a repeat and one was Doom Patrol, which I already had the omnibus of. I'm kind of pissed off because I could have gotten them too. I could have and should have done was I could have and should have got books 2 and 3 on Kindle, not on Kindle, on the like bought the books themselves on Amazon. They're like $30. One was $30, the other was $34.99. So it would have been less than the pretty overpriced book. Even getting all three of them would have been less than the overpriced book, but not by much. But it'd been $3 off. But I think I'm glad I got the omnibus because I have the complete series now, and I guess it would have always been that thing for me where I'd be like, oh well, I don't have this book though. I don't have book 1 because I got it at the library. I did feel the same way about that Miles Morales book for the longest time because book 1 was the only one I didn't have, like at all, digitally or physically, because I had gotten it on Prime Reading and stupidly, had gotten rid of it. Because I never thought the book that I pretty much read it all in one sitting, the entire book, like it was this size. I read that all in one sitting. That Miles Morales book, that first one. That Miles Morales series is Brian Michael Bendis at its damn best. And, of course, the Ultimate Spider-Man series preceding it. But I haven't finished that Ultimate Spider-Man series. The best part about that Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales series is that while you do need to kind of know a little bit about the Ultimate Spider-Man character, you only have to know a few details, like 3 details. And spoilers for that series. Well, he died, and then he died, and all that shit. Ultimatum. I don't know why I feel the need to over-explain things. I'm taking way too long. It's 13 minutes now, so I'm gonna talk for a minute longer. So it's 14 minutes. So I plan tomorrow, maybe, I don't know, to do a all my epic collections overview. I should have just done that now and made the video longer, so the video, so it's justified that was longer. I'm not gonna do that now. But tomorrow I'll probably do that, and then the rest of the week, because I don't have any other books to finish. The only one I have left is The Crow, but I want to wait till the movie comes in from Intraloans too. So I'll watch the movie and then I'll read the comic after, because I like doing that sometimes, most of the time, all the time. It's like a 5-movie collection. It has a lot of like classic comic book movies. The two that the two I know I can. Oh, it's 3. Now that I remember, there's 5 of them obviously. I can't think of the last 2. It's Punisher, Kick-Ass was really damn good. The Crow, Conan the Barbarian, which I'll skip. I don't know the 5th one, because I think the 5th one was also like I'll skip that one. I wonder if that Punisher one is the unrated cut. I don't know. But yeah, and then no hauls till next week. I'm hoping I do have a check, because what I'll do is I'll get those 2 books. I'm assuming I'll have at least $14. 28, at least 28 in that check, and half of that, is 14. Although half of that is 7, so I'll only be able to get 1. I've heard it isn't that great, but it's like, so the book is that Green Lantern Parallax story. When you look it up, It's like Green Lantern becoming Parallax. If you don't know what it is, I'm talking about. But yeah, I really wanted that one. I don't know if I'll ever do all the books that I have on the Kindle, because I have the Kindle on the iPad, and unless I do it on this laptop here, which I don't know how to get the shit from here on the laptop to post onto YouTube. I'm sure it's pretty easy to do. Sure, you just go to upload and yeah, that's all I gotta do. I'll go to your camera roll, just like here. Although it doesn't do that anymore. No, it does. Duh. As it can't just do it from the camera roll. You used to be able to do it from the camera roll. You go to like that little button. You hit a little button and say YouTube messages here, and then hit YouTube and just type it in like I normally did. The one thing that was a huge pain in the ass was I always had to sign in. It never remembered me, even though I think I clicked every single time remember me, and I was always signed in onto YouTube on YouTube, the app. So you would think that with the smart technology that Apple uses, that they would be able to cross-reference, or however you call it. What do you call that? I don't know, but I'm taking way too much of your guys' time because I stopped talking about the books an hour ago, basically. All right, that's it. So yeah, tomorrow's video will be all my epic collections, maybe. I felt like there was something else I wanted to do. I was like, oh, maybe I was just thinking of reading recommendations. This is the first time I think ever that I've finished all the books, or just was done with all the books, be well in advance. So the next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the next 3 to 4 days, I'll be reading regular books, like not library books, which is good because I have to get on Preacher. And I'll hopefully finish that tomorrow. Just to clarify one thing, when I said it was a pain in the ass to get through it, I don't mean that. Like I like the book. It's just to read it, I have to read it every day because like sometimes I like to skip days. You know, there's some books that I like to skip days for, and there's some that I'm like, oh, I know I need to read it every day because I want to read it every day. And that's when I kind of like feel like I should skip. I should not have solicited it so early. I should wait till I finish that book. Which I'm doing that from now on, even if it's a small ass book like this, because I never know when it's gonna get bad. Because that happened with one book. I forget what it was, but I was reading it for the longest time. I was like, oh, this is good, and I finished it. I was like, I should not have solicited volume 2. Okay, that's it.